state level webinar on entrepreneurship development and startup, organized by Department of Commerce and Department of Vocational Courses in collaboration with IQAC Nabagram Hiralal College. I am thrilled to stand before you today as we gathered from different corners of the state to engage in meaningful discussion and gain valuable insights on entrepreneurship development. My name is Shakko Singho De, and I have the privilege of serving as your host and convener of this webinar on behalf of Nabogram Hiralal College. I extend my gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today. Your presence here reflects your commitment to personal growth, professional development, and the pursuit of knowledge. In today's fast-paced and interconnected world, webinars have become an incredible platform for us to connect, collaborate, and share expertise regardless of geographical boundaries. During the course of this webinar, we have gathered a distinguished panel of experts, thought leaders, and industry veterans who will be sharing their unique perspectives and experiences on entrepreneurship development and startup. Their insights will undoubtedly broaden our horizon and provide us with invaluable insights into the subject matter. I encourage each and every one of you to actively participate and ask questions and share your thoughts during the interactive sessions. Before we delve into the heart of our discussion, I would like to introduce our governing body president, Mr. Apurva Mujumdar, our principal, Dr. Srikanto Samanto, our chief guest, Professor Dr. Siddhartho Shankar Saha. He is Professor of Commerce and Head and Chairman of Postgraduate Board of Studies in Commerce, University of Calcutta. Member, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Commerce, Social Welfare and Business Management. Member of Senate, University of Calcutta. Former Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Commerce, Social Welfare and Business Management. Former syndicate member, former director, Calcutta Stock Exchange Center of Excellence in Financial Market, and former director, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, University of Calcutta. He will enlighten us on entrepreneurial finance. Our honorable speaker, Professor Dr. Pranam Dhar, he is professor and head Department of Commerce and Management, Director, Center for Skill Development of Business Studies and International Studies, West Bengal State University. He has received 14 national and international awards, including Best Faculty Award and Distinguished Faculty Award in 2016, Bharat Jyoti Award for Academic Excellence in 2013. He will enlighten us on sustainable entrepreneurship in the context of SDG Industry 4.0, some issue. Our next honorable speaker is Professor Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay. He is assistant professor and in charge Department of BSc in Hospitality and Hotel Administration, Techno India University. He will enlighten us on finding the hospitality and tourism service ventures. We have among us Professor Kaushik Dari, Assistant Professor, Joint Coordinator, and Head Department of Commerce. Dr. Suporna Chatterjee, IQAC Coordinator and Associate Professor in History. Organizing Committee members Dr. Probit Datto, Associate Professor in Commerce, Dr. Shubhendu Kundu, Associate Professor in Commerce, Dr. Amarnath Das, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Mrs. Suparna Roy, SSCT 2 in Commerce, Mr. Rajiv Devnath, Ms. Bhirutri Bhattacharjee, Mr. Somir Das, Faculty of Vocational Courses. Finally, I would like to extend a special word of appreciation to all my teaching and non-teaching colleagues and other participants who have invested the time and enthusiasm in joining this webinar. I would like to request our principal sir, Dr. Srikanto Samanto, for the welcome address and also to chair the inauguration session. Sir,
Uh, Thank you, Shakho. Good noon, everybody. Visible on the monitor of the computer, and mostly invisibly but responsibly present. I, on behalf of the Nabagram Hiralal College, feel delighted to convey that during the last 3 years, uh, over the looming shadow of the pandemic, and after that, the college uh, has been organizing as many as 35 webinars and seminars with much enthusiasm and success. And today, this webinar is being organized by the Department of Commerce jointly with Department of Vocational Courses of the college and in active collaboration of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQAC of the college. And as you already uh, heard from Professor Shakho, that the topic of the seminar is entrepreneurship development and startup. First of all, I warmly welcome Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Saha, Namaskar sir, Head and Professor, Department of Commerce, University of Calcutta, former Dean and former Chairperson, Faculty Council of Postgraduate Studies in Commerce, Social Welfare and Business Management, and also former Director, Internal Quality Assurance Cell of the University of Calcutta. You are warmly welcome, sir. In spite of his busy administrative and academic schedule, you have given your kind consent to deliver on this topic. Professor Ponam Dhar, Professor Head, Department of Commerce, and Director, CS DBS, West Bengal State University, will also deliver on this webinar. My heartfelt welcome is extended to you also, sir. Namaskar. I also extend my warm welcome to Professor Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay, Assistant Professor at Research Department of BHHA, Technical University. Namaskar, Professor Bandyopadhyay, for your kind consent to deliver on this webinar. I must welcome Professor Shakho Sumode, the convener of the organizing committee of this webinar, in particular, and other members of the organizing committee, Dr. Kobir Dotto, Associate Professor of Commerce, Dr. Subendu Kundu, Associate Professor of Commerce, Dr. Amarnath Das, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Professor Kaushik Dari, Head of the Department of Commerce, and Srimati Suparna Rai, SSCT, and the faculty members of the Department of Vocational Courses attached to this Bachelor of Vocational Courses, who are also present and took active part in organizing this webinar. I also welcome Dr. Suparna Chatterjee, Associate Professor of History and Coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell of this college, and others members of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell who have been instrumental in organizing this webinar. I must be feeling in my duty if I don't heartily welcome my colleagues of the different departments of this college, different students of this Department of Commerce, and from other departments who have participated in this webinar, who have joined in this webinar to make it successful. Last but not the least, I heartily welcome other members of the governing body and the president of the governing body, Sri Apurva Majumdar. I once again welcome all of you, members of the non-teaching staff, and Sri Devkanti Das, who has rendered technical support in making this webinar possible. Once again, I warmly welcome all of you. Namaskar. And with this welcome speech, I declare this webinar open. Over to you, Shakku.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for valuable words. Uh, as our HOD, Professor Kaushik Dari, is on the way, he is unable to provide his address. That's why we are going steadily into the program. And our GB President, Mr. Apurva Majumdar, is also unable due to his busy schedule of a meeting. I will ask Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shango Saha to deliver his speech. Sir, over to you.
Yes, Sakko, just
Sir,
just
okay, sir.
yes, thank you very much. My student Sakko Singh Roy, now that is assistant professor in our college, where I have been invited. That is Nabagram Hiralal Pal College. It's my immense pleasure to be associated with today's webinar, though initially it was decided that it will be the one-day state level physical mode seminar. Because of some reason, so organizer actually converted this concept from physical mode to online mode. But I think it is a nice approach. Accordingly, they have done this job. Here, I must give you the thanks to the principal of this college, that is Dr. Srikanto Samanto, who is the under his leadership, this college is running a very effective manner. And also, GB President is not available right now, Mr. Apurva Majumdar, Professor Kaushik Dari, and many teachers and audience, and also students, and my brother, beloved brother, Dr. Amarnath Das, who is also the guest faculty in my department, that is PC Department of Commerce, University of Calcutta. I also give my heartiest thanks to my student, Sakko Singh Orai, who is the assistant professor here, who actually approached me and invited me to be the chief guest in this inaugural session, and subsequently, second half, that is our panel discussion, we have to chair the session. So with this word, let me begin to speak on a particular issue, that is entrepreneurial finance related to the entrepreneurship development and startup. Why I have chosen this particular topic? As you know, right from UGC to Bengal administrator, everyone, Bengal government, everyone talking about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has become very, very important issue to the our students, young teachers, students, and everyone. Why? Because if you do not have the entrepreneurship attitude, if you do not have the entrepreneurship mind, so in that case, you cannot do new things, new idea you cannot generate. So if you do not have any idea, new idea, so in that case, you don't have entrepreneurship attitude. You must be, if you think of only that is job seeker, so we are going through certain stage. You are not supposed to always to be the job seeker, but you may be the job creator. or job provider. So with this word, keep in mind that whether you will be the job seeker, whether you will be the job creator or job provider. So you must not be always job seeker. If everyone will be the job seeker, it is very much difficult to accommodate you by the government, because government doesn't have sufficient capacity to provide job every time. So you must have attitude like entrepreneurship attitude, by which you may ultimately create job and you may provide job someone. So I have chosen the topic like entrepreneurial finance as far as my specialization is concerned, because entrepreneurial finance is based on the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial finance. So both the things are very important. In my discussion, I'll be taking 25 minutes time on an average, where I'll touch upon the entrepreneurship and entrepreneur development. And second part, I'll discuss about the entrepreneurial finance. So here we understand that if you have entrepreneurship attitude, or if you are the entrepreneurship minded people, maybe student, maybe teacher, maybe others, but without finance, without money, without fund, so nothing can be done. You have well thoughts, you have visionary approach, you may have entrepreneurship attitude, you have new ideas, you have new goal, but you are unable to arrange finance, unable to arrange fund or money. In that case, you can't implement, you can't proceed your objective, to fulfill your objective, to reach at your goal. So if we talk about entrepreneurial finance, I have shown here, one exhibit. And if we look at this exhibit, you understand the beginning to maturity stage. That means seed stage to the maturity stage. So everywhere. So therefore, we know that is, if you have entrepreneurship attitude, we should have the entrepreneurial finance idea. So if we talk about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial finance, I begin with a quotation by the Tony Sai: chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. Chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. What is entrepreneurship? You know very well what is the meaning of entrepreneurship, but once again revisit. We understand, if we talk about entrepreneurship, we must talk about the starting of new businesses. Yes, entrepreneurship is the capability and preference to grow, to organize, to run a business enterprise. Obviously, in order to make profit, but not ignoring the uncertainties, not ignoring the certain amount of risk. So if you have entrepreneurship attitude, you must have the new ideas. You want to earn profit. Obviously, you must carry certain amount of uncertainties and certain amount of risk. You cannot ignore your risk. So entrepreneurship connected with the land, labor, and natural resources and capital, and which can generate a profit. And you should have also corporate social responsibility attitude. So who are the entrepreneur? You will be the entrepreneur, I'll be the entrepreneur. So by entrepreneur, we mean someone who has the talent and desire in creating and controlling and thriving in a startup venture, along with the risk entitled to it to make profits. So entrepreneurs are normally called a source of new ideas, or innovators or accelerators, who can bring new ideas in the market by replacing old with a new invention. Yes, another word I'm using, invention. So whenever you talk about entrepreneurship or entrepreneur, then you should have the invention minded people. That innovation you should have always. So entrepreneur may be a small or home business to multinational companies. So we understand the entrepreneurship versus entrepreneur. What do we understand? We understand the process of starting and running one's one business, that is entrepreneurship, which involves a considerable amount of risk. An entrepreneur, by entrepreneur, we mean the entrepreneur must be an individual who undertakes certain amount of risk and also are associated with creating, organizing, and owning a business with the new visionary approach. Now, if we look at this slide, my dear friend, then you see top 10 startup in India in 2023. The many startups are there. The top 10 startup in India 2023. Those are young guy, you know very well. Some of the name, like maybe CRED, name is Digit Insurance, maybe Nika, maybe Uddan, maybe Suiji, maybe Grow. So many startups are there in India who are working well, and also they are serving the society. One thing I ask the audience, am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, if we talk about the successful startup in India, so you know very well the Flipkart, one of the important startup, and Flipkart role, they basically perform the many activities, maybe book market to household market to many markets that are associated. You see Ola, you see our Meso, you see Zomato, you see Farm Easy, you see Big Basket, Blanket, so many upgrade. So many startups in India, they are working, that they are the top successful startup India. They are working with the attitude of entrepreneurship attitude. Now, if we come to the different forms of entrepreneurship, you know very well the different forms broadly classified into the small business entrepreneurship. It may be single venture, it may be scalable startup entrepreneurship, it may be large company entrepreneurship, and also it may be social entrepreneurship. But there is a question in our mind, why people become entrepreneurs in the current scenario. In the current scenario, many people, they are coming forward to be the entrepreneur. Why? There are many reasons. Some of the important reasons I would like to point out here. One of the important reasons to be one boss in a business, to be the financial successful person, for having the job security, to be the job creator, job provider, and to maintain the quality of life. Perhaps these are the important reason of things. Because of those reasons, the many young people in India, they are coming to be the entrepreneurs. And also, I'm not political person, but I'm not in favor of any government. But the central government attitude, right from our previous government to current government. So attitude is make in India and making India. Concept is very good, but if it is implemented properly and executed properly, that is fine. Make in India, objective is, as entrepreneur, you try to make different new product and try to capture the foreign market to supply, to not to import, but to export. Rather, you can increase the dollar, you can increase pound. That means forex reserve can be improved with this concept, make in India and making India. So therefore, if concept is good, I don't know whether India at present has become successful in line with the making India, make India. It's a new concept they're trying to improve, and also create many entrepreneurs. And that is why people should come forward to be the entrepreneur in India, to produce the many new product and to to export the product to enhance the forex reserve. Therefore, if we talk about entrepreneurship, we must talk about starting a new venture with a new business plan. So if we talk about new business plan, first step is that the selecting a business idea. To select a business idea, you must find something what you love to do, and what are good at doing. And can your idea satisfy a need in the marketplace? Yes, you have to develop such a product with your business plan so that the market people, they will be able to accept your product, and ultimately you can fulfill the market requirement, market desire. If you produce a particular product but market doesn't bother about product, market even doesn't need your product, so it's a waste of time and you'll be loser, your objective will be lost. So therefore, such a way you have to generate your idea and you have to implement your idea and you have to develop your product. You have to market your product so that you will be able to fulfill your objective and you'll be able to serve the market, serve the industry, serve the society, and market people will be happy about your product. Market people will be able to have your product to fulfill their requirement. So entrepreneurs must be sure that the idea they choose has interest in the marketplace. If we talk about the business plan development process, I'd like to show this exhibit where I try to point out starting from essential initial research by which you'll be able to generate your ideas and then you can implement how with the business model and then initial business plan draft and making the business plan realistic and making plan appeal to stakeholders, desirable to the entrepreneur, and then finishing the business plan and develop the product. So now, if we come to the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial process, actually, we talk about entrepreneurial process, there are 5 steps by which you can fulfill your entrepreneurial process. First step is discovery. Second one, concept development. Third one, resourcing. Fourth one, actualization. And fifth one, harvesting. Let us touch upon, not in detail, all of them one by one. First of all, if we talk about the discovery is such a stage where the entrepreneur can generate the new ideas, can recognize the opportunities, and can study the market. Basically, the entrepreneur consider the many things. Those things I would like to mention here: the hobbies or skill, the consumer needs and wants, the conduct surveys and questionnaires, and study the demographic. This is very basic stage and initial stage, my dear friends. Second stage, if we talk about, which is called the concept development. Yes, if we talk about concept development, there are many sub-steps. Number one, develop a business plan and choose location for the business and decide if the idea will need a patent or trademark. Coming to the third stage, the resourcing. Resourcing is a particular stage in which the entrepreneur identifies and can acquire the financial, human, and capital resources which are very much needed for the venture startup. Yes, my dear friend, I must say the entrepreneurs contemplate under this stage can identify the potential investor, they apply for loans, grants, and financial assistance, and they can hire the many skilled, unskilled, and semi-skilled employees to fulfill their objective. Coming to the step number 4, the actualization. Actualization is an important stage in which the entrepreneur operates the business and utilizes the resources in order to fulfill their goals and objectives. An entrepreneur under this stage prepare for the grand opening of the business and day-to-day operation of the business. Coming to the last stage under entrepreneurial process, which is called harvesting. Harvesting also another important stage in which the entrepreneur can decide on the venture's future growth, development, or demise. So entrepreneur consider the following: the future plans for the business, the expansion to additional location, and company to change structure. Friend, basically harvesting stage is the maturity stage where you have a scope for experimentation, and also with the experiment, ultimately you can develop and also extend your activities. We come to see the this particular slide where I want to, present the product evolution stage. If you talk about the product evolution, there are many stages. I would like to divide it into 2-3 parts. First part is science part. Second part is that thermodynamics part, and last part is that industry part. So under science part, technology, fluid mechanics and electronics stage, and this is called basically, thermodynamic stage, and industry stage where the modeling, then planning, then financing, then warehousing, and then marketing part. And then you can produce many products like flight, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, home. It may be that is your, household appliances, etc. Now, so with this what I conclude, that is our first part of my deliberation, that is entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship development, and with starting a business with new goal and new ideas. Yes, if we talk about entrepreneurship, I told you, you must understand the procedure, a requirement for starting a business. So we know the 3 important stage. First stage is develop a business plan that I already told you, meet the legal requirement. Yes, you have to adhere, you have to fulfill the legal requirements, and also you should acquire the finances. This is the second part of my discussion, which is called the entrepreneurial finance. So if we talk about entrepreneurial finance, so then we must talk about, that is, what is entrepreneurial finance and how it could be required for our starting a new business. Entrepreneurial finance, as I told you, is a part of entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurial finance having 2 important parts. One is entrepreneurship and another is finance. So entrepreneurial finance is the process of acquiring capital and making financial decision for a new venture or startup. So if you need to begin your business without money, nothing can be done. Those are students who are basically attending this webinar. You understand, if you start a new business, you must invest your money. You make your journal entry in your books of account. That is bank account debit to capital, very well initially. But this money is not sufficient. At startup level, you need to have the money, which is called the seeds money, which is called the venture capital money, which is called the startup money, which is called the angel fund money, and also maturity stage, IPO-based money, and capital market money. So I come to you all those one by one. So we understand the entrepreneurial finance having the immense importance in case of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship development. So entrepreneur finance involves approaching the investors and seeking loans that can allow them to launch operation and acquire resources. Friend, I must say, funding may be provided by your friends, from your own money, from your family money, for venture capitalists, angel investors, banks, financial institution, IPO market, and also capital market as in holistic approach. So if we talk about corporate finance and entrepreneurial finance, entrepreneurial finance, as far as funding sources are concerned, as I already mentioned, from the friends, family, crowdfunding, incubators, accelerator, business angels, venture capital, private equity. We talk about corporate finance, maturity stage, the sources of finance, that is banking sector, capital market, funding process, deal sourcing, screening, business plan, valuation, term sheet, as far as entrepreneurial finance is concerned. As far as corporate finance is concerned, standard due diligence process, financial plan, and collateral to back loan. So, and harvesting stage, if we talk about the entrepreneurial finance, as I told you earlier, the initial public offering by which you can raise money, the maturity stage. Talk about the corporate finance, internal financing, or maybe issuing, that is shares, debenture, maybe in the form of APO, further public offer. So there are many stages of your entrepreneurship or venture development: seed stage, startup stage, growth expansion stage, the maturity stage. And against all these stages, let me allow to say the sources of funding, that is entrepreneur finance by different stages for venture development, rather by venture development phases. If we talk about the seed stage, under seed stage, many money providers we have. I have mentioned one by one. Who are they? They will be entrepreneur, there will be family and friends, there will be incubator, there will be accelerator, there will be crowdfunding agency, business angel, many government program, venture capital, etc. Startup. So over and above those, also here additionally, it may be trade credits, asset-based loan, corporate venture capital, venture debt, etc. Growth stage, crowdfunding, business angel. It may be additionally, it may be commercial bank loan, private equity, high yield bond, etc. And maturity stage, that is ultimately even venture capital, commercial bank loan, and others. But we can't ignore the IPO. IPO market can provide the bulk amount of money to the corporate for arranging their long-term money for expansion, development of their fund. So therefore, we understand ultimately the funding process and also under different stages, seed stage, early stage, and maturity or growth stage. Now I'd like to touch upon the startup funding stages. Actually, startup funding stages broadly divided into 6 to 7. First one is pre-seed funding, which is called the bootstrapping stage, And second one, that is our seed funding, product development stage. Third one, the Series A funding, which is called the first round of venture capitalist. Next one, second round of venture capitalist. Next one, third round of venture capitalist. And then Series D funding, which is called a special round of funding. And finally, the maturity stage, which is called IPO or stock market launch. I just touch upon every stage one by one, then I conclude. That is our pre-seed stage, basically startup owners, friends, family, early stage venture funds, they can arrange the entrepreneurial finance. Coming to next stage, potential investor of seed stage. Here, the crowdfunding, angel investor, friends, family, early stage of venture funds, they can arrange the entrepreneurial finance. Under this stage, Series A, entrepreneurial finance can be arranged by the accelerators, super angel investor, the venture capitalist. Coming to next stage, Series B, the venture capitalist and late stage venture capitalist, they can arrange, that is entrepreneurial finance. Coming to Series C, late stage venture capitalist, private equity firms, hedge funds, bank and financial institution, they can arrange entrepreneurial finance. And finally, coming to IPO stage. As you know, if we talk about IPO, then ultimately we must say that is a part of primary capital market. I've tried to show this exhibit where you can see that many modes are there in the primary market. One is public issue, right issue, private placement, bonus issue. If we talk about public issue, that may be of two types. One is IPO and another is FPO, initial public offer and further public offer. If we talk about initial public offer, that may be press issue, offer for sale. Example, there is offer for sale LIC IPO. Couple of months back, LIC IPO came into market. Nike IPO came into market. Many IPOs came into market. So therefore, it may be press issue, offer for sale. But further public offer, those companies basically listed company and not unlisted. Unlisted company can come out in the market to raise money, to arrange finance through IPO at the maturity stage. But those company, listed company, they come to market to raise money through FPO. It may be press issue or offer for sale or both. Also, we have a private placement method in the form of preferential issue and also QIP, IIP at present not available in the market. And also internal financing, that is called the bonus issue, which is basically taught in BCom classes. Many students, the idea about the bonus issues. This is the mechanism by which the IPO mode, the entrepreneurial finance can be arranged, and where basically merchant bankers as book running lead manager, they can arrange money, on behalf of the issuing company from RII, NII, QIB, investor, retail individual investor, non-institutional investors, and QIB. Here, many intermediaries are there, merchant banker registered to the issue, syndicate members, that mutual fund, underwriters, merchant banker, stockbroker. They basically conduct the roadshow in the market as syndicate members. The political party, they conduct the roadshow for the campaign program. So campaigning program, here also the, company, issuing company, they can also conduct the roadshow for the purpose of campaigning program, or to capture the market people. So therefore, to motivate the different types of investor, the NII, RII, QIB, non-institutional investor, retail individual investor, and qualified institutional buyer. So already I have taken here, I think, that is, I think 12:40. So I started 12:15. So therefore, 20 minutes time already I have taken. I come to you, to conclude by taking another 4 or 5 minutes, and then I conclude. Now, friend, if we talk about entrepreneurial funding across the company life cycle, where we talk about the new players and entrepreneurial finance and why they are there, I just touch upon, not in detail. Suppose one example, the new player, there is accelerator or incubator, they basically arrange the entrepreneurial finance. Depends upon the type of accelerator, incubator, investment goal, the financial, strategic, political, etc. They're very much active in the investment approach and non-financial support, the management support, training, network access, etc. And investment target, early stage startup. But if I skip, and then if I come to one important part here, that is new player. Suppose university manage or university-based fund, under RUSA program, many universities have developed their incubation center, and also there is entrepreneurship hub where they are providing, that is entrepreneurial finance seeds money to the student, those having the business plan. So therefore, this has become new fashion across the country, particularly B school, IIMs. They provide the seeds money to their students, young students having the good business plan, to encourage them to start the new venture. Now I touch upon this last one, perhaps the factors explaining the emergence of new players. I talk about from the supply side factors. Please mute yourself. Now, friend, so from supply side factors, number one, economic and financial crisis related factors. Number two, regulation related factors. Number three, technology related factors. Number four, policy related factors. I do not discuss in details because of shortage of time, but you understand, if you talk about what are the factors which can explain the emergence of new players in the market for a good entrepreneurship attitude, and also arranging the entrepreneurial finance. So they are economic and financial crisis related factors to policy related factors. Coming to demand side factors, if we talk about, there are two important factors. One is product market related factors, another disintermediation. Product related factors means that is based on the market desire, you have to develop your product. Disintermediation, delegation of authority and decentralization approach is very important. Finally, I conclude by quoting the Tim O'Reilly, according to him, money is like gasoline during a road trip. You don't want to run out of your gas on your trip, but you are not doing a tour of gas station. With this word, I must convey my thanks and best wishes to the organizer, particularly Sakko Singh Roy, convener, and also principal of this college, and other people, those who are actively associated, for this webinar, for grand success, inauguration program. So my as a chief guest, whatever, tried my best to share my views on my topic, the entrepreneurial finance, some issues. Thank you very much. Perhaps I've taken, 20, 25 minutes time, 25 minutes time I have taken over to Sakko Singh Roy and also the organizer as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I will request our principal, sir, Dr. Srikanto Samudra, to have some words.
Thank you very much, Professor Siddhartha Shankar Saha, for his wonderfully crafted presentations on entrepreneurial finance and startup. I think for almost all the participants who have participated today, who have joined today, have been immensely benefited in their future course of actions, in their future career, in their professional career, and it would be more encouraging had we arranged it offline. That would open up some space for interaction among the participants from across the state. I once again congratulate and extend my thankfulness to Professor Saha for his nice, thought-provoking presentations on entrepreneurial finance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Samanto, your very short speech and also encourageable word. And yes, I am so much thankful and grateful to you, because I have heard about you many things from Sakko Singh Roy. And if you have an opportunity to meet physically there in your college in future, so always that is, we are ready to go there and meet and then interact with your beloved students and also other audiences. Thank you very much.
I extend my invitation well in advance. It would be our pleasure. It would be a pleasure if you come and visit to the college to deliver on another day. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your words. I will request all the students and other participants to kindly mute your device. Otherwise, it will be a hindrance for our speakers to deal with their lectures. Many of you are unmuting, and I have to mute them. Please keep in mind this one. Please mute your devices for the smooth running of the webinar. Thank you, sir.
And Sakko, a few students raised their hand, so you can ask them really they have any query or anything, or just by default they have raised their hand virtually.
Okay, the students are requested to tell their queries if they have any queries regarding the lecture.
And
So
because
I
they have
will
raised their hand,
answer.
10 audience, participant, they have raised their hand virtually, like Abhishek, Malik, Ravina, Shubhadeep, Asita, Akash. So I think if you have anything, discuss. Otherwise, remove your hand virtually. Okay, remove your hand. Like everyone, remove hand excepting Akash. So what Sakko has communicated. So if you have any issue to discuss with us, you're most welcome. So quickly you do it, because this session will be concluded shortly. next session will begin. So, Sakko, over to you.
Is any query there? Is there any query? Sai is there to solve the queries.
Because Professor Dhar and also another expert, Bhattacharya, both they have already joined here. Okay.
Okay, I think so. There is no query in the session.
So,
Sir, I
so
will
you
proceed.
conclude the session, according to your way. The first session, inaugural session, is concluded. Request to your chairman of this session. Okay.
Our first inaugural session is over here. I will proceed to our next session, that is panel discussion. I will request Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Saha to chair the panel discussion session, and I will welcome both the speakers, Professor Dr. Pranam Dhar sir and Professor Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay, for their panel discussion speakers. I will hand over to Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Saha for chairing the session.
Right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sakko. But before taking the charge as chairman, I request you first of all to introduce the speaker, Professor Dhar first, and followed by Dr. Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay. You introduce with few words. After that, I take the charge as chairman and then begin the session immediately. Okay. Continue.
Okay, sir. I once again take the privilege to introduce our honorable speaker, Professor Dr. Pranam Dhar. He is Professor and Head, Department of Commerce and Management, Director, Center for Skill Development and Business Studies and International Studies, West Bengal State University. He has received 14 national and international awards, including Best Faculty Award and Distinguished Faculty Award in 2016, Bharat Jyoti Award for Academic Excellence in 2013. He will enlighten us on sustainable entrepreneurship in the context of SDG industry 4.0 and some issues. Our next honorable speaker is Professor Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay. He is assistant professor and in charge Department of BSc in Hospitality and Hotel Administration, Techno India University. He will enlighten us on finding the hospitality and tourism service ventures. I will like to hand over my mic to Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Saha and chair the
Thank
session.
you, Sakko Singh Roy. Sakko Singh Roy is my student and also assistant professor in this
Sir.
college. And very
Sir, Sakko Day, sir.
Sakko Singh Day. And now that is we are going through 12:52. So very good afternoon to all the audiences, principal of this college, and also ultimately all the students, beloved students, organizers, and also finally that is our two speakers here. One is already mentioned, my bosom friend, Professor Dr. Pranam Dhar, and also Dr. Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay. Here, they are the ultimate speaker in this panel discussion. Since we have started here the discussion at 10 minutes before, so therefore our objective is to conclude our session, by 2 to 10, roughly by 2 or 2:10. So at the beginning of this session, I must not say anything. Why? Because I was the chief guest in the inaugural session. As you know, I have given a short speech having the 25 minutes. So I would like to arrange such a way. The first speaker, Professor Pranam Dhar, has been introduced by Sakko Singh Day already, followed by Dr. Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay. He has been also introduced by the Sakko Singh Day. Straight away I come to invite the speaker, my bosom friend and great speaker, a great prolific author and senior professor in West Bengal State University, Department of Commerce and Head everything. So he will be speaking on a topic. I come to you, but I request Professor Dhar, since we'll be concluding by 2 to 10, because 10 minutes before you started. So I request Professor Dhar, 30 to 40 minutes time you take into discuss share your views, followed by Dr. Bandyopadhyay also maybe that is you can take the times like 20-30 minutes time you can take, and then discuss the matter. At the end, I can take 5 to 7 minutes time to conclude the matter as a chairman. So Professor Dhar will be speaking on very vibrant issue related to theme. That is, our theme is our entrepreneurship development and startup. So Professor Dhar will be speaking on sustainable entrepreneurship in the context of SDG industry 4.0, some issues. Over to Professor Dhar.
Thank you so much, Professor Shah. He has already mentioned, yes, I'm a very good friend of Professor Shah since childhood. And welcome to you all in the second session, that is the panel discussion session. And I take the opportunity to express my heartfelt regards and gratitude. Am I audible to all?
Yes, yes,
Am I?
yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I express my heartfelt regards and gratitude to the Honorable Principal of the College, Professor Tramonto, and then to obviously the convener of this conference, Professor Sakko Singho De, and all other who are present here in the capacity of audience, the faculties, the students, and all other stakeholders. Definitely, I see that lots of people are raising hands. It is very much true in the present scenario, although Professor De was repeatedly telling that do not raise your hands or unmute, but I find it very uh, pertinent that why should I not raise my hand? Because I am living in such a situation, I am talking about the students, I am living in such a situation that the situation is giving all the question mark to me. The present situation is very volatile. We are moving to the national education policy. The whole world has faced the COVID-19, and in the post-COVID situation, the total economy has been redefined. The definition of economy has changed. And thirdly, why the institution, higher education institution, this Nabagram Hiralal Pal College, I visited it in the year 1994 with some other faculty. He is not there now. So it is at Konnagar. It was very nearest to my home. A very homely atmosphere, very good students. But the question is, what is the objective of this higher education institution that is holding this conference or seminar as per the NAC guidelines? One or two seminars should be held for entrepreneurship, incubation, startup, etc. And the objective of the students is to get something. But what is the goal actually? What I want to do, what I want to become? This is the real question. Would I want to become a job seeker? That is, I want to get a job, because most of the average students want to get a job seeker. They want to take the role of a job seeker. I'll get a job, I'll get some salary. Okay, my family will run good, and I have no other tension, no other issues. But some students are here who are raising hand. I suppose they want to be job giver. They want to give job to others. Umesh Dotto raised hand. Yes, you are very right. You have raised your hand because you want to be a job giver. And if I want to be a job giver, then I have to be an entrepreneur. I have to be some innovative mindset. I want to do something in life, something थोड़ा हटके. हिंदी में हम बोलेंगे तो थोड़ा हटके. जहाँ अन्यरा करे, what others are doing, I'll be deviating from that. I'll be deviating from that, and I'll be trying to do something new with my creativity and with my innovative attitude, innovative mindset. And already Professor Shah mentioned that I have been the author of this book on entrepreneurship since 1999. Many of the students were not born in that year. From that year, this book is revised day by day. So I went through at least 50 books on entrepreneurship, and I have seen how the world is changing, how the evolution is coming out. And after 2015, the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, were set up by United Nations, and how these goals are being adopted by different countries. That is the real issue of discussion today. If I get a permission from Professor De, the convener, honorable convener, I can share my screen. Can I
Yes,
share,
sir.
sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Just give me some time because this Google Meet is changing every day. That is also an innovation.
And I think that is Sakko, total program that is recorded, na? Total program is recorded.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is recorded and it is been live on YouTube.
Okay. And then you
Thank
send
you.
the link after the program. Send the link to the Professor Dhar and me as well, and also Dr. Bhattacharya as well. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And is my screen showing?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay. So I'll be having two divisions in my
Now,
presentation.
Professor Dhar,
Yes.
your screen is visible but not file. That is, many files are showing, but exact file not visible. Okay, you can open the file.
Is my presentation not showing?
No, not showing.
Now it is showing?
No, it is coming. It is coming. No, not yet.
It has not.
Not yet.
So if there is some technical issues, so you can share your PPT with me on WhatsApp. I can screenshot that one.
One thing I tell you, Professor Dhar, you just leave the meeting and come back. I think problem will be resolved.
Is it showing?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's it's showing. It
I
was
think,
showing.
just a minute. I think Professor Dhar, for the time being, just quickly leave.
It is
come
showing.
back.
Is it showing?
No. Now
Now
all
it's
right.
showing,
Now
sir.
all right.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it has come.
Then
Okay.
you say that is slide share.
Okay.
Slideshow.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is already presented to some other institutions. So very sorry for that. But as many students are present in this platform, so I'll first of all give an idea of what is entrepreneurship, and then I'll come to directly to my topic, what has been shared. So just a minute. Entrepreneurship. The word entrepreneurship originates from the French word entreprendre, which means to undertake. So entrepreneurship is the key to innovation, productivity, and effective competition. When a person realizes his or her ability or capacity and makes it practical use and establishes new business unit, this activity is known as entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship is a concept and it is an innovative function. According to Joseph Schumpeter, it is a leadership rather than an ownership. Is the screen showing?
No, only first slide is visible, but the slide what is going through, it is not visible. You just scroll down.
I think there is a network issue on the part of the
Maybe
host.
you may continue.
Okay.
Please.
Sir, you can
According,
share the PPT with me, sir.
okay, just a minute. I am forwarding the mail to you. Just to tell your mail ID.
Sir, one sec, sir. I am giving it in your
You just
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp or Sakko WhatsApp.
Yes, sir. I'm giving it in your WhatsApp, sir.
I've sent it to you.
1 second, sir. I haven't received it till now.
Yes, I have already sent.
I think Professor Dor, you can continue, and in the meantime, he can arrange and share. Okay.
Okay, sir. You continue. I once I get it, I will share it.
Okay. So according to Schumpeter, entrepreneurship is an innovative function and it is a leadership rather than an ownership. The process of innovation may be in the form of introduction of a new product, use of a new product, a new method of production, opening of a new market, and the conquest of new source of supplying raw materials. Now, if we go through the concept of entrepreneurship, there are two types of concept. One is traditional concept and one is modern concept. As per traditional concept, entrepreneurship is the ability and aptitude to bear the various types of business related risk and facing of uncertainties. As per modern concept, it is the ability to establish new enterprise and carrying out various new improvements in the enterprise. Now, risk bearing capacity. This is very much important part on the bear of entrepreneur because it is the entrepreneur who will bear the risk of starting a new venture and will take the risk afterwards also. So here risk refers to the variability of outcomes or returns. Entrepreneurs are risk takers, that is the people who don't fear anything in business. Entrepreneurship involves taking of risks and making the necessary investments under conditions of uncertainty. Then managerial and leadership skill. An entrepreneur should have the managerial and leadership skill. Entrepreneurship is the process of bringing together creative and innovative ideas and actions with the management and leadership skills to mobilize the appropriate people, money, and operating resources to create wealth in the process. Entrepreneurs can translate their ideas into action with management and leadership skills. Entrepreneurship is itself an innovative function. Innovation is the specific function of entrepreneurship. It is the means by which the entrepreneur either create new wealth producing resources or endows existing resources with enhanced potential for creating wealth. Joseph Schumpeter revived the concept of entrepreneurship as an innovative function. That if you got the file, you can show it because students will not understand after getting the presentation.
Sir, I haven't received the file yet, sir. So you can share it on WhatsApp, sir. I haven't received the mail yet. So it may be in your outbox, sir. So kindly check your mail, sir. It's in your sent box or outbox.
It has been delivered already. Anyway, I am sharing it to you in WhatsApp.
Okay, sir.
You have, I think, received the
Just
first
receive
file.
the mail. Just receive the mails. I am.
Okay. Due to rainy season, there is a disturbance.
So which PPT I will show?
Entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship presentation on 13/1. Yes.
Is it visible,
Thank you.
sir?
Yes, yes, it's visible. So just go to the next, next,
So you please
next.
guide me with the slide. So slide number.
Yes, 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 yes. This one.
Okay, sir.
Just this is the thing I was on. Organization building ability. Entrepreneurship is the ability to connect and coordinate the productive resources to organize a venture and the enterprise. It is bringing together the factors of production and to organize them. So entrepreneur makes decisions about the resource allocations. Next slide. Managerial and leadership skills I was talking about. Entrepreneurship is the process of bringing together the creative and innovative ideas. For example, when Columbus discovered America, he had lots of innovative mindset to discover something new. But that was discovery, not innovation, because that geographical indication was there. Only searched by Columbus and ultimately found out. That is not innovation. That is not invention. That was discovery. But for invention, you have to have some mindset of creating something new so that you can produce, you can create some product or process or method. Uh, so, entrepreneur must be having some innovative ideas and actions with the management and leadership skills to mobilize the appropriate people and money and operating resources to create wealth in the process. Entrepreneurs can translate their ideas into action with management and leadership skills. Next one. Innovative function. So, what I was talking about, innovation should be there. It is called a trait. What is trait? Trait, Trait. It is for the students. Trait is an inborn quality of an entrepreneur that is not developed afterwards. It is inborn quality of an entrepreneur. It is innovation. Some people here also, they can write, they can sing, they can dance, they can draw, they can sketch. So this is innovation in the mindset of the people already inborn. This we have to develop. So innovation is the specific function of an entrepreneurship. It is the means by which the entrepreneur either create new wealth producing resources or endorse existing resources with enhanced potential for creating wealth. Joseph Schumpeter revived the concept of entrepreneurship as an innovative function. Next slide. High level need for achievement. So all the people are not entrepreneurs. Some are leaders, some are organizers, some are officers, some are clerks. Only the entrepreneurs are the people who have the desire for high level achievement. The person who are motivated with the need for high achievement have a high level of entrepreneurial activities. I can give you one example. One of my students, I'll not take his name. You will see him in Facebook. He started his journey as a student when his mother worked in others' house. But that student, after passing the studentship for more than 10 years, he is now a multi-millionaire only because of his innovative mindset. He is the constructor, developer, promoter, and he is a multi-millionaire. And people from different other countries are calling him. So entrepreneurs should have that desire from the day zero that is the need to have very high achievement in life so that he or she can become an entrepreneur. They should have a desire to be successful in competitive situations. Next slide. Search for profitable opportunities. This is also an important quality of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is actively searching for opportunities to do something new or to do existing things in certain new ways for a profitable business. Potential entrepreneurs are always looking for unique opportunities to fill needs and wants. Next one. Wealth creation. What I'll do as an entrepreneur definitely will increase the wealth of the institution which I am attached. So entrepreneurs are economic agents who transform the demand into supply, and they transform resources into useful goods and services that lead to creation of wealth and industrial growth. Now the students may ask that how I'll create wealth for the institution. Yes, students, I don't know who are the students here. Ritik Das, Navajyoti Kole and others I am able to see, Rajiv Devnath. I don't know who is the student. Anyone can answer who is the student? Anyone can unmute and say that I am a student. Nobody is the student here.
Yes, sir. I am a student.
Yes, Sudhipa De. Okay,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. You are a student. You are a student. How you can create the wealth? Definitely, as an NSS volunteer, you can, or as a student, you can donate your blood. When you are donating your blood, and just like that, Pritam Das and others, Rajiv Devnath, maybe Ritik Das, I'm taking some names. They can be giving bloods, and these bloods are deposited in the blood bank. And if you calculate money value of those blood units given, 1 unit blood cost around 1,200 to 1,500 in the market. So if 60 unit bloods are collected by NSS unit of the college, if you accumulate that, if you calculate it in money value, it is the wealth created by the college for the nation. The examples are real life examples, not coming from the abstract ideas. So this is the wealth creation by every student, and ultimately this concept of wealth creation can be converted afterwards by the college when you are giving your NSS award profile or your NAC profile is prepared. You can show that this amount of money value, wealth generated, converting the money value of the bloods donated, multiplied by price into market price into quantity. So this is the wealth creation, and charity begins just like charity begins at home. Students can begin their journey from their studentship by creating the wealth for the college itself. Next one. Change agent. Yes, your freshers welcome, your social, everything is going on in the college. Why? Because there are some students who become leaders. They organize the social function, they organize the freshers welcome, they take the money from the college authority and utilize in a proper way for the amusement, for the recreation of all the students. And that is a source of gathering, common gathering of all. So these people are the entrepreneurs. They are the change agent. An entrepreneur has to be a change agent as per the modern concept. The entrepreneur becomes the change agent who transforms the resources into useful goods and services, often creating the circumstances that lead to industrial growth. Next one. Process of creating new values. This is also under the modern concept. Through entrepreneurship, new products, services, transactions, approaches, resources, technologies, and markets are created. You think about your college in the COVID situation, there might be some students who have created masks, who have created the sanitizers, who have manufactured sanitizers and masks. My university volunteers and students, they have created certain posters, certain banners, certain sanitizers, masks. This is the creativity. And with this creativity, you are changing the values. The mask, below the mask, it is written West Bengal State University students or NSS volunteers. So you are giving certain new values to the existing product or presenting it in a different way, making the useful products and services for the society. This is the concept of creating new values. Next one. Subject or discipline. Entrepreneurship education is a first growing area in colleges and universities. Most universities in the country did research on entrepreneurship followed by training courses. Due to fully developed subject, many entrepreneurial schools have been opened, and in the CBCS also, and in the present proposed NEP also, you see there is a core course, or presently it's called a major or minor subject in the NEP. Entrepreneurship is always there because it gives, it is not a major or minor course, it is a skill development course, that is SCC. It makes you learn different skills in order to become a successful entrepreneur. Next one. Now, after discussing all these things, we can define entrepreneurship after classifying in establishment of enterprise-based definition, function-based definition, combination-based definition, decision-making based definition, and innovation-based definition. Now we'll go directly to the innovation-based definition because time is not there. You just keep on to the innovation-based definition. According to Professor Rao and Mehta, entrepreneurship can be described as creative and innovative response to the environment, and entrepreneurship is an activity of linking the business with the society and the environment. Now, what are the qualities an entrepreneur should possess? Next slide. Components or elements of entrepreneurship. First, there is a pursuit of opportunities. Then there is an innovation. Then there is an organization creation, creating values. Then you may be working for the profit or the non-profit objectives. Growth is definitely an important element of entrepreneurship. Uniqueness and process. These are the elements or components of entrepreneurship. Next one. Characteristics of entrepreneurship. Firstly, innovation. Then risk-bearing capacity, already I have discussed. Then creative decision, creating and managing resources, managerial skills and leadership, gap-filling function, business-oriented tendency, economic activity, producing results, and lifestyle. These are all qualities or facets of entrepreneurship. Next. Now these, I'll skip due to lack of time. I'll go to the next part, role and importance of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are the pivots of economic development. They are the basis of change of business. They are the organizers of society's productive resources. Entrepreneurship has definitely a contribution in the production of new products, development of new production techniques. It is helpful in capital formation. It is helpful in development of new market, establishment of new industrial enterprises, contribution in development and expansion of existing enterprises. Now, at the end of this slide, I'll give you some examples of real life entrepreneurs who have become successful. Professor Dev, please go to the end of towards the end of this presentation. Yes, some above from J.R.D. Tata or some other, you can from the above. Yes, this from this one, some of the real entrepreneurs. Starting with Azim Premji. You have heard the name, chairman of Wipro Technologies, one of the largest software company in India. He was honored with Padma Bhushan in 2005. Then next one, Dhirubhai Ambani. He is the founder of Reliance Company. He built India's largest private sector company. Next one, J.R.D. Tata. He is the chairman of Tata and Sons. He launched Air India International and received the Bharat Ratna in 1992. Next, Narayana Murthy. He was the founder of Infosys Technologies Limited. He was chosen as the World Entrepreneur of the Year 2003, and he was the non-executive chairman and chief mentor of Infosys. Next, Rahul Bajaj. He is the chairman of Bajaj Group, one of the most distinguished business leaders. Next, Sunil Mittal. He is the chairman and managing director of Bharti Group, India's largest mobile phone service provider. He was called IT Man. He was awarded IT Man of the Year 2002, and he is the CEO of the year 2002. He is called as the originator of the cellular phone revolution in India. Then Steve Jobs. He is the founder of Apple Computer. He is the founder of Pixar, Next Gen also. So with these examples, we can say that yes, we can. Amrao pari. Now, how will you do? Go to the next slide. There are different types of entrepreneurships. An entrepreneur is a person who is a visualizer, who is a creator, who is an organizer, who is an innovator, who is a planner, who is a leader. Next, what are the types of entrepreneurship? Go to the types of entrepreneurship. Next, on the basis of nature, it is innovating, imitative, Fabian, and drone. On the basis of activity, it is soul, it is work power. Entrepreneur is a work power builder, product innovating, format, unused resources user, takeover, capital accumulating. On the basis of ownership, maybe private, government, joint sector, and cooperative. Next slide. So on the basis of size, maybe small scale or large scale, etc. On social basis, exploitative and ideal. On the basis of number, sole, group, co-preneurs, institutional, and these educational institutions, if they are entrepreneurs, they may be called edupreneurs. If the principal is doing something new, suppose one oxygen plant or one solar panel, some solar panels are fixed up in the college. The principal of the college is the leader, is the head of the institution, may be called edupreneur. So these are the different types of entrepreneurs. So due to lack of time, I'll go to my second presentation. Professor Day, please go to my second presentation, but you can get the idea from my book. It is there at the last but one slide, and you can get from there. It is there in my book, so students can read from there. Last but one slide. Yes, this is the book, and now in the NEP framework, it will be slightly changed, but the title will be same. So I will move on to my second slide, second presentation. Professor Dev, please show the second presentation.
So is it visible?
Yes, very much visible. So I'll move on to directly my present discussion, that is sustainable entrepreneurship. This is a new concept. This is a totally new concept, and I'll discuss it in the light of Industry 4.0. So please go to the second slide. What is sustainable development? In the context of sustainable entrepreneurship, we can define sustainable development to unite the international community and pursue sustainable development together. The United Nations established the Brundtland Commission, which was named after the former Norwegian Prime Minister Geo Harlem Brundtland. The Brundtland and United Nations Commission was established to address worldwide political consensus and to communicate the urgent need for policies worldwide to include the three main pillars of sustainable development. Definitions of sustainability have varied over the past decades, with numerous academics reaching contrasting definitions and a resounding number of concepts peeling off from the fundamental principles of sustainability. There appears to be no consensus, which has led to hampered discussion by the lack of uniformity in defining sustainability. Now, this presentation will give some.
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
Yes, my connection was somehow lost. But go to the second slide. Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
These are the research work on sustainable development. First, limits to growth. We can discuss some literature review, relevant literature review on sustainable development. It started with Limits to Growth in 1974 to 86. The Limits to Growth written by Daniela Meadows, Dennis Meadows, Jorgen Randers, and William Barhenstree in 1972 first brought to attention the world model determining the consequences of the interactions between the earth and the human systems. The authors strive to explore economic growth and its impact on the earth's finite resources. The study attempted to explore such consequences of population growth, pollution, industrial output, food production, and resource use with the aim to stipulate discourse on how to plan for the overshooting of the carrying capacity of the earth. Next. From 87 to 96, this Brundtland Commission was started its journey in 1987 at the World Commission on Environment and Development of the United Nations, also often referred to as the Brundtland Commission. The term sustainability was enlarged to sustainable development. The emerging report refined sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Now, with this concept, there were more developed work on this sustainability. Go to the next slide. The next concept was triple bottom line approach, or TBL. In 1995, John Elkington first defined the triple bottom line, or TBL, in his book Cannibals with Forks, the triple bottom line of 21st century business. Elkington strived to go beyond the traditional accounting measures of ROI, profit, and shareholder value, focusing on the broader environmental and social dimensions. And at its narrowest, the TBL is an accounting framework used for gauging and calculating performance against the three dimensions, that is, people, planet, and profit, that is, economic or financial, social, and environmental. The TBL can be perceived as a type of scorecard that attempts to measure the balance between economic, environmental, and social aspects, that is, 3 P's. Next one. These are the 3 P's already I have discussed: people, planet, and profit. People means the people, the workforce. They have to be kept well in order to get their good output. Then planet means earth, environment. They have to be maintained properly so that they do not take revenge. We have experienced the COVID-19 situation, how environment has taken revenge on the mankind. So planet has to be kept, maintained properly by planting trees, by not throwing solid waste here and there, maintaining a proper waste management, etc. And lastly, profit should also be there, because without profit, the business entities cannot survive. So with people and planet, there should be a balancing approach of earning the profit, and that is why it is called 3 P's, that is, triple bottom line approach. If you draw a triangle, at the 3 bottoms of the triangle, there is people, planet, and profit. Next one. So this was another research work by Savit in 2006, who proposes examples of economic, environmental, and social performance measures that, if managed appropriately, can create good, positive publicity and exposure. Next one. Now we come to the concept of sustainable entrepreneurship. Already we have defined entrepreneurship. You know that entrepreneurship is the activity of creating certain new products and services with the help of our innovative mindset. Now, what is sustainable entrepreneurship? For the study, we have developed an in-depth analysis into the foundations of the sustainability or sustainable development and the important sustainable entrepreneurial research concepts that have spun off entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. It is now important to conceptualize sustainable entrepreneurship, that is the latest entrepreneurial sustainable development, to reach scientific research, and as we consider a much needed promotion in this current economic climate. So our aim here is to determine the importance of sustainable entrepreneurship to sustainable development by collecting a comprehensive list of the most important definitions of Dept. Next one. Now, what is sustainable entrepreneurship? We have gathered 8 definitions of sustainable entrepreneurship with the aim of identifying similarities and differences and find which aspects are important according to previous research. So this is in the research process. So we cannot rightly come to any conclusion. We can only sum up the different definitions. Go to the next slide, and then we can define sustainable entrepreneurship. Deriving from these definitions, we can conclude. No, next one, next one. Go to the previous slide, just one para also. Sustainable entrepreneurship is the balancing act of strategically managing and orienting environmental and social objectives and considerations with entity specific financial goals steering the business objective. No business company or venture operates on a desert island. It is embedded in an economic, social, cultural, and ecological environment. So, sustainable entrepreneurship attempts to find the right balance within these environments. Sustainable entrepreneurs improve the quality of their processes while ensuring their environmental and social impact is limited and minimized. Next one. Now, transformation of industries into sustainability. How will you do that? Recent research into transformation of sectors towards sustainability has derived from the identification of sustainability related market failures as opportunities for sustainable entrepreneurs. Hawkers and Washington Gain in 2010 have conceptualized these understanding. Hereby, they specify between startups and incumbents, that is the result of the incubation, which have different roles and impact in the transformation process. They state that by linking sustainable entrepreneurship to the transformation of an industry towards sustainable development, we respond to Cohen and Wynn's call for going beyond research on corporate greening initiatives and their impact on farm performance. Next one. Now, there are different stages of sustainable entrepreneurship. At the first stage, a sustainable entrepreneur who is highly motivated launches a sustainability innovation and initiates the transformation of an industry towards sustainability. At the second stage, the sustainable entrepreneur grows their business and is followed by incumbents that catch up with the growing trend. The transformation of an industry towards sustainability continues. At the third stage, the business-minded sustainable entrepreneurs emerge with startups backed up by professional investors. These understand their market needs well and are able to implement both product innovation as well as process innovation. These sustainable entrepreneurs achieve profitable growth and will extend market share while defending it against incumbents. At the fourth and final stage, that is at the maturity stage, mass market brands see the growing competitive threat from the sustainable entrepreneurs and will try to gain market share as well, taking the transformation of an industry towards sustainability further. Next. Now we have to define the sustainable entrepreneurship in a different way. We define sustainable entrepreneurship as startups that introduce an innovation with the aim to solve a sustainability related market failure which initiates the transformation of an industry towards sustainability. Sustainable entrepreneurial startups embody a motivation to solve sustainability related problems through the introduction of innovative products, processes, and services. These innovations can make an impact on by initiating the transformation of an industry towards sustainability, and their sustainable objectives are equally important as the economic objectives or even more important. Next one. There are certain gaps in sustainable industry literature. With that, we'll move on to the gaps I am not discussing due to lack of time. We'll move on to the definition of Industry 4.0. Next slide. Now, you all know that United Nations have developed certain sustainable development, 17 sustainable development goals. And one of the goals is development of Industry 4.0. Now, companies understand the promise of Industry 4.0 faster, smarter, more sustainable productivity. What's hard to make that promise come true? Management thinker and father of Industry 4.0, Henrik von Sill, describes three key drivers of Industry 4.0. That is success, think value, not take, think people, not tools, and set clear targets from the start. Next one. There are certain cyber physical systems which are now fixing or refixing the production or manufacturing system in Industry 4.0. So it is defined as the merge of our physical, virtual, and digital systems into an intelligent system, cyber physical systems, which create a tighter integration between humans, machines, and information technology systems. There are three concepts nowadays: promise, challenge, and implementation. There is a gap between promise and challenge. So implementation is a step forward, which is a bigger challenge for the Industry 4.0. Next one. Now think value, not take. What is that? Combining the digital, physical, and virtual worlds creates unparalleled opportunities for growth and productivity while reframing the competitive landscape with smart products and new service models. Production systems stand up to become as much as 35% faster and 30% more vibrant through Industry 4.0 capabilities, according to Von Sill, enabling mass customization, the ability to create tailored products at high speed and on a scale never before possible. Very small example. Previously, we were used to see the television fixed on a wall, and we were supposed to see the channels prefixed. Now we can customize our channels. Now we can customize our device. It is fixed in an angular mode. We can change. We can make it home theater. We can download through Hoichoi or other apps. We can customize our TV channels, only those channels which we are used to see. So this is the think value, not take. Next one. A seismic shift in manufacturing. The digitally enabled factory of today looks very different from the leading factory of 10 years before. Just I am giving you a small example. Previously, I changed my 14th car very recently. I have purchased my 15th car. When I purchased my first car in 1998, when it had a problem, I had to go to the workshop or garage, and they took 15 to 20 hours minimum to find out the problem if the problem was critical. But nowadays, I go to workshop with some problems with my car, somebody coming with a laptop, and jacks are fitted to the proper place, and within half an hour the problems are sorted out, and finally problems are resolved. So this is a seismic shift in manufacturing, that is, which lead to reduced material losses, improving customer service, better delivery lead times, higher employee satisfaction, and lower environmental impact. Now even you can customize your mobile phones, your car, your cooking gadgets. You can give order and customize it in your own way, in a tailor-made form. Next one. Know your stage, focus on your target. This is the buzzword nowadays for the industries. There are different stages like digital connectivity and sensors, digital engineering. I had a problem in my set-top box yesterday. I called Airtel, and through remote access, within 5 minutes, it was recovered. So this is called digital engineering and digital operating. So digital connectivity and sensing, digital engineering, and digital operating is there. So this is the blessings of Industry 4.0. Next one. Now, when we want to be a sustainable entrepreneur, in order to cope up with the changes in Industry 4.0, we must be having some necessary skills. Now, for that, I made a perception study, and I'm not showing the details of the study. We conducted an interview-based study to identify the specific and characteristics as well as the special skills of entrepreneurship. The results show that 14 startups, I have taken 14 startups for my study. 14 startups have specific requirements in all startup phases and at the same time need special skills and resources. These essential characteristics are mainly found in the customer perspective. It is difficult for startups to develop an adequate understanding of the customer's problems because customers' problems are multifarious. And you believe me, customers are never satisfied. If you solve their problem, some other problems crop up. This often leads to the problem
Professor
of.
Dhar,
I'll complete in 1 minute.
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, okay.
I'll complete in 1 minute. So this often leads to the problem of not developing a relevant product or solution, and it is also difficult for startups to test critical assumptions and integrate prototypes into existing production environment due to the risk of production stoppage and long feedback cycle. So ultimately, I'll end up with a story how the industry has changed and how as an entrepreneur how we have to cope up with that technology. My mobile phone was broken just after falling down. It was broken 2 months before, and I went to the mobile store. I was very glad that my mobile phone is broken after usage of 2 years, and I'll be happy to purchase a new version of mobile phone. And you can stop the presentation, no issue. So just it is a story to the student. I went to one of my students, he has a store, mobile store, and I was very happy that I will purchase a new one. But the student said, no sir, you just had a mobile insurance, Acco insurance you have purchased at the time of purchasing your mobile phone. Have you logged on to the system? I said no. Then he logged on on my behalf, and within 2 hours, some people came to my home and took my mobile phone, and you believe me, within 7 days, I got the same mobile phone ready to use, totally new in condition, and that is the blessing of Industry 4.0. I didn't even imagine it 2 or 3 years before when the broken mobile phone could not be brought back to the new condition. That is the blessings of Industry 4.0. Digital move, and this psycho-digital move is to be co-opted by the entrepreneurs in order to become a sustainable entrepreneur. That is the last line on my behalf, that the students, when you are there, when the business incubation center or entrepreneurial incubation center is opened by the college, there are lots of schemes. Due to lack of time, I am not able to show you. That is a different part altogether. But you will get lots of entrepreneurial funds. The researchers, the teachers, when you will get patented of your research work, you will get also an incubation fund from the startup and incubation center of your higher education institution. And lots of avenues are open nowadays. But first of all, we have to change our mindset, and we have to cope up with the changed entrepreneurial qualities with the changing business world, so that our innovation should be effective to the general people. Their utility should be realized by the industry, not only confined to the higher education institutions. And with this, I'll end up with one quote by Edward Everett Hale. I am one. I am only one, but still I am one. I am not able to do everything, but I'll not stop to think that I'm not able to change anything. I'll try, and one day I'll reach my goal. With this, thank you all, and I again extend my heartfelt regards and gratitude to the organizers, especially the Honorable Principal, Professor Samanto, and Professor Sakko Singho De, the Honorable Convener of this seminar. And very sorry for taking extra time. I seek apology to Honorable Chairperson of this panel discussion, Professor Saha. And if there is any question, you can ask, because after that I have another meeting. So if you allow Professor Saha, then 1 or 2 questions if the students.
It's okay. I'll take up, Professor Dhar. No issue. Rightly you pointed out, you're so busy. So thank you, Professor Dhar. Your valuable deliberation and your thoughts, sharing very lively approach, what you have done. And let me say something on your presentation. You have covered mainly in a very effective manner, the very lucid manner, the entrepreneurship and also entrepreneurship development. And second part, you have discussed, with life example, that is sustainable entrepreneurship in the context of SDG industry 4.0, some issues and many issues actually you have touched upon. And, according to level based, you have tried the online mode to reach our audience mind. At least I have been learned a lot from your deliberation. Like me also, I think the audience, particularly students and others, those who are research scholar and others, they have enjoyed with the presentation, I believe. So in
Thank
this
you so much,
backdrop, since Professor Dhar is will be busy for another assignment, so I'd say the audience, if you have really any interaction, any discussion, any specific issue to learn, so raise your hand virtually quickly and then discuss here. I give 10 minutes time maximum to discuss the issue. So raise your hand. I find that here there is one student, Ansari Das, already raised hand virtually.
Anushree Das, do you have any question?
Anushree Das, whether you have raised your hand to discuss an issue or by default you have raised your hand. If you have raised your hand to discuss an issue, so immediately unmute yourself. Otherwise, remove your hand virtually. Anushree Das. And other audience, yeah. So already remove hand. So no question, but other audiences here. So if you have any specific question, so raise your hand and unmute yourself. Because Dr. Bandyopadhyay will be the next speaker. So quickly, I will finish this session. This particular portion. So I think nobody is responding, Professor Dhar. So I believe that is very lucid manner. You have communicated the issue such a way as the prolific, speaker and also versatile speaker. So I'm thankful to you as my friend that you requested. I requested you here to join here as one of the our speaker in this session. So you have delivered the matter very nice manner. So once again, thank you very much, Professor Dhar.
Thank you so much, Professor Shah, for your kind words. But I have some queries where I was able to satisfy everybody, or there were some issues. I'll ask Professor De, if you have any query or comment, you can share.
No,
And
sir,
Dr.
it was
Bandyopadhyay
a
also.
good session. It was a good session, sir. Actually, students don't have any query on this session. I think so. It's all fine, sir.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shah and Professor De. And here I stop
Thank you, sir.
because
Thank you, sir.
I am eager to hear from Dr. Bandyopadhyay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now here there is our second speaker. Already second speaker has been introduced by Sakko Singh De. So there is no need for further introduction. So I request Dr. Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay, and Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay will be speaking on the finding the hospitality and tourism service ventures. So Dr. Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay, please continue.
Am I audible?
Yeah, and you can continue with according to your time, but I have another assignment. That's why I request you to conclude by 2:20-25. So if you conclude, I'll be thankful.
Yeah, sure. It's my presentation is very small.
Okay, thank you very much.
So,
Thank you, Bandyopadhyay.
so this is actually the very basic things what I will going to discuss with the students.
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
So very good afternoon to each and everyone. So it is my immense pleasure to invite me for a eminent speaker in the this panel discussion. So I am very much thankful to Dr. Sukanto Samanta, principal of the colleges, and Mr. President Apurva Majumdar sir, and Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Saha sir, and Dr. Pranam Dhar sir, and I'm very much thankful to Sakko Singhade and Rajiv Devnath also to invite me in this panel discussion. So my topic is finding the hospitality and tourism service in the ventures, this prospective and opportunities and the challenges. As we know that nowadays there is a slogan is going on in throughout our country, that is the Athithi Devo Bhava and local pe vocal. Yeah. So the thing is, means the more tourists will come to our country, actually the hospitality sector will rises up. And next slide, please. So for the introductory part, I like to say that the hospitality and the tourism industry is constantly evolving, driven by the changes, consumer preferences, technological advancement, and the global trends. It is an ecosystem that thrives on innovation, personalization, and exceptional customer services. With each passing year, new ventures emerging, a revolution, the way we travel, relax, and indulge ourselves there. The thing is actually in the hospitality sector, means last 2 years during the COVID, the hospitality and tourism sector actually is totally gone to the earth. Actually, we don't have any business. We can see anything in the hospitality sector or the tourism sector. But after the COVID, it is slowly coming up on the you can say in the world. Everybody is now wanted to go outside, means outside their locality or their states, and means they are wanted to relax in somewhere. They wanted to find out some new ventures in there. So in the hospitality sector, you can say it is not only the hospitality and tourism sector, it is not only the travel, or you can say not only to stay. There are a lot of things we have to do out there. The thing is, one can do, means the students, the newcomers, they think that if they think that they want to start up their own businesses, then they can start easily. Because nowadays, the thing is, if you go to the next slide, please. Yeah, the hospitality and tourism industry startup ventures refers to newly established businesses, and the invite is that aim and introduces innovative products, services, and the solutions to meet the evolving needs and the demands of the travelers, tourists, and the overall market. Now you can say there are some that are already they have started their businesses and they are successful. There are some companies that Airbnb. What they are Airbnb? Actually, this Airbnb is you can say is an American San Francisco based company. They are having the marketplaces and short and long term homestays. Right, they do the businesses of short and long term homestays, which like if we go to like means in the hilly areas, rather we are staying in a hotel, we are preferring homestays. And homestays, what they are doing, and they are booking the homestays, and they are getting the commissions. So one can easily start up. Recently, means two months back, I went to actually this one Sikkim. So we used to stay in homestays, and I have a query that who are the persons who are having the ownership of this homestays. I come to know from the manager of that particular homestay, the homestay that has been taken in lease, and the owner is somebody else, and the person who are taking in lease, they are functioning the total homestay process. So we can say that someone can take the homestays, the homes in a rental basis, and they can do the business out there. Again, like this one, the Get Your Guide. If you go to the Get Your Guide, it is also a Berlin-based company. What they used to do, they used to guide the tourists. They are the tourist guides, and they conduct the excursions. So we can do this one also. Again, we can. If you come to the Zomato, what they are doing, they are the inventor, they are the startups, started up business as done by the Dipankar Goyal and Pankaj Chadda in 2008. What they are doing, Zomato, now we are used to do the ordering in Zomato. We are sitting in the home and ordering the foods, and the food will come to our home. Okay, so make my trip, we are booking our tickets. We are booking our tickets through these apps also. Next slide also. Next slide, please. So what are the steps we have to follow if we start up or the startup venture? So you have to start a venture with the hospitality and tourism sector. First, you have to determine the specific area of interest. What is the interest? What is the goal? What you started up? What is the thing you are going to start up? Then next one is develop a business plan through the conducting market research. So you have to go through a proper market research, that what is the need of the customer, what is the need of your locality, that you have to do the business plan. So in the business plan, you have to the things what you have to do, that is you have to make an executive summary, business descriptions, market analysis and the strategy, marketing and sales and plan, management and organization depreciation, product and service description, and competitive analysis, operating plans, financial projection and needs, and exhibits the appearances. So these are the things. And saying next thing, the most important thing, as Dr. Shah has said, the most important thing, you have to have your finance. If you don't have finance, you don't start your business. So you have to secure your funds, then register the business with the appropriate government authorities, development a partnership and build a team professionals, focus on the customer experience by creating a strong marketing presence, monitor finance and the operations, network and collaborate. Next slide, please. So if you wanted to start up your own business, you wanted to start your own startups, so you have to go through some legal prospects. So these legal prospects, it is very important for the travel and tourism sectors India. That is, create an LLC or limited liability company or the corporation, then register a business name, apply for a federal tax ID number, determine if needed a state tax ID number, obtain business permits and the license, protect the business with the insurance, open a business bank account. These are the legal aspects. You have to look after it, and you have to start up. You have to think accordingly. Next slide, please. So what are the future consequences? So now the technologies are growing up. So if you don't adapt the technologies, so you cannot sustain in your business, your startups. So in your technological advancement, that is the thing you have to go through. These things are very much remarkable. That is your voice search and voice control, contactless payments, robotics, chatbots, and virtual reality, mobile check-ins, etc. are the advancement. Now the multinational hotels what are they doing? They are adapting the robots to do the work efficiently and very accurately. And you have to think about the changing the customers' expectations. Now the customers' expectations are very high. You cannot satisfy a customer with their needs. So you have to just think about all these things. Then economical impact, the promotion of the sustainability, and the increased competition and the innovation. Next slide, please. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? The advantages are the innovative approaches, personalized customer experience, technological integration, cost efficiency, increasing entrepreneurial spirit. And what are the disadvantages? High compensations, sensational functional fluctuations, high operations costs, customer acquisitions, and the retention and operational challenges. Next slide, please. So during the COVID time, during the COVID pandemic time, the growth of the hospitality and tourism sector as well as the retail sector also, that is gone down. And by 2022, it has grown up to 5.8 trillion. And the experts, the economists, they think that by 2027, it will rise up to $5,816.66 billion. So there are a lot of scopes that I can give an example. One of my student, after his passing out, he has joined a hotel. He worked there for a few years, and he thought that, okay, I will start up with a food truck. So the student, he has started up with a food truck in Vocational. The business is going quite nice, and he is thinking that he will going to buy some more trucks and make it a food truck, and he will just elaborate his business in the market. So we can start up the businesses, we can start up, and nowadays it is a hot cake. Cloud kitchen is a hot cake. So you can start with the cloud kitchen at your home also. In your home kitchen, you can start, you can use it for your business purpose. So you have to think about your locality, what are their needs, and you can start your own startup also. Okay, next slide, please. So as a conclusion, by examining a wide range of service ventures with the hospitality and tourism sector, we hope to aspire the entrepreneurs, industry professionals, and the enthusiasts alike, with the aim and to provide a comprehensive overview of the latest trends, challenges, and the opportunities in this vibrant industry, encouraging innovate and the thinking of the customer approaches. So as a conclusion, I can say now the hospitality sector and the tourism sector, they are given emphasis in the green hospitality. That is, the green hospitality provides third-party verification that facilitates in tourism, hospitality, and recreation sectors must meet the environmental prospects standard and demonstrate a strong commitment on the water quality, water conservation, waste imagination, and the resource of conservation and energy efficiency. And second one is ecotourism. According to the UN WTO, all nature-based forms of tourists, in the which the main motivation in the tourist is the observation and appreciation of the nature as well as the traditional culture and prevailing in the nature. Thank you so much.
Yes, and Dr. Bandyopadhyay, your presentation very precise, to the point, and also very smart, and you have taken very balanced time. This is my first observation, and at the same time, you have touched upon very important issues related to the hospitality and tourism service venture, very lucid and nice manner, because the area what you have chosen as a researcher, I find this is such a good area and broad area, and where many scholars, they can start their study to do their own research, maybe PhD research or other small type of research. So anyway, without wasting time, I appreciate our previous speaker, Professor Dhar, already done it, and now Dr. Bandyopadhyay, tried to touch upon some important issues related to this topic, that is hospitality and tourism service venture. I think the audience, those who are attending today's webinar, they are very much, they will be happy to understand there are many things within a short span from Dr. Bandyopadhyay. And now, if you have any specific query or understanding issue, so house is open for 5 to 10 minutes, and I request Sakko to say audience to raise some questions and something like that. Within 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be concluding the session. Sakko.
Thank you, sir. The students are requested, if you have any query, please ask sir. Sir is present over here to clear your queries. The participants of the webinar are requested to ask any query to sir. Sir is present over here. I think, sir, there is no query. You can conclude this session, sir.
Okay, so in that case, they are not coming forward to interact with Dr. Bandyopadhyay, and also earlier there is Professor Dhar as well. Professor Dhar already, delinked anyway. So in that case, my part is over to chair the session. So now I'd say, Sakko, to give the vote of thanks. Vote of thanks will be given by Dr. Suparna Chatterjee, the coordinator of IQAC.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, speakers, for enlightening us with such a valuable knowledge. And thank you, Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Shah, for chairing this session. I will like to request Dr. Suparna Chatterjee, Coordinator IQAC and Associate Professor in History, to conclude our webinar by giving the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shakko. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Nabagram Hiralal Paul College, I thank the speaker of the inaugural session of today's webinar, Professor Dr. Siddhartha Shankar Shah, for his insightful and enlightening lecture on entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial finance, where he discussed the various stages in which entrepreneurs operate to develop their business with a vision to become job creators and wealth creators. Thank you, Dr. Shah, also for chairing the panel discussion. I thank our first speaker of the panel discussion, Professor Dr. P. Dhar, for his very contemporary and thoughtful discussion on sustainable entrepreneurship. Our last speaker, Professor Bhaskar Bandyopadhyay, gave us a very illuminating and enriching lecture on hospitality and tourism industry. I convey my heartiest acknowledgements to Professor Bandyopadhyay. I thank Dr. Srikanto Shamanto, our principal, whose constant inspiration and advice has helped us to convert today's seminar to a webinar, and we look forward to organizing more such discussions in the near future. I take this opportunity to thank Sri Apurva Majumdar, President Governing Body of our college, for taking active interest in the academic activities of the IQAC and the college as a whole. I thank the other members of the governing body for their constant encouragement. Sincere acknowledgements to the convener of this webinar, Professor Shakko Singho De, Assistant Professor in Commerce, and Professor Kaushik Dari, Joint Convener and Assistant Professor in Commerce, for their painstaking endeavor to make this webinar happen. I take this opportunity to thank the members of the organizing committee, Dr. Prabir Datto, Dr. Shubhendu Kundu, Dr. Amarnath Das, Mrs. Suparna Roy of the Commerce Department, and also Mr. Rajiv Debnath, MS Vedatri Bhattacharjee, and Mr. Shomir Das of the Department of Vocational Courses for their wholehearted participation. Sincere appreciation goes to the technical support provided by Mr. Dept Das. I thank the entire teaching faculty, non-teaching staff, and the students of Nabagram Hiralal Paul College for their active participation in all respects. Finally, last but not the least, a very big thank you to all participants of today's webinar, including the faculty and students of other institutions. Thank you for making this webinar a great success. Namaskar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I think
Session
principal
is
sir
over, so I think
there.
speaker and the chairperson, we can leave, and then you can discuss with your audience or anything.
Okay, sir. I hand over the mic to principal, sir. You
Okay.
please conclude this webinar.
Okay.
With this, once again, by extending my thankfulness to all of you, namaskar, and I hereby declared this webinar closed, and it has come to an end. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Only I request Sakko, please share today's total program link. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I'm leaving.
Thank you, sir.